All right, we're on. Thank you, Maimi, for having me here in Osaka. I'm very happy to meet you. It's my first interview on this trip in Japan. There will be a few more, hopefully. So we, just as a quick introduction, I have to say that we have the chance to meet thanks to Philip Lakin from Zapier, because it's kind of random, but I jumped on one of his posts about Japan, and I said, oh, who should I meet there? He tagged you. So thank you for meeting me. And I'm very excited that you can tell me a bit more about what you're doing and also what's the state of no code in Japan. But first of all, maybe can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. And I am a little bit nervous and excited about the podcast today. So my name is Maimi.
Thank you. So we have to say also, so we're in a cafe that is not open yet, which is your husband's cafe?
Yeah, it's going to be
Or will
open.
it be, okay, nice. So if people come in Osaka, they can come here. I'll put the address. But thank you. That's really nice to have a quiet place to record and still have good coffee, I think. Sorry, I interrupted you if you can.
My name is Maimi. Thank you so much for having me today. And it was such a bummer that we couldn't meet in person No Code Summit last year. We both attended.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were there. My name is Maimi, and I do work as a no-code consultant in Japan, and I mostly use the tool called Kintone. Kintone is mostly known in Japan, but we have in the US, like other Asian countries, like we are trying to expand, but mostly known in Japan. So I use Kintone to build apps for companies, and mostly like small businesses. That's what I do. And also I'm a very passionate about citizen development. So I actually have creating education service or like a learning service for the companies to learn the concept of citizen development, and they can maybe implement the idea within the company.
This is definitely something we're going to talk about because I'm curious to have your definition of citizen development, but we'll come back to that later. Because first of all, I'm always interested to know a bit about your background, because what I've noticed in France, at least, and also in different places that I've been and I had a chance to interview people, is that people in the no-code community have very various backgrounds. I've met people who used to be actress, people who used to be work in a leather shop, I don't know, it's so diverse that I really enjoy. And some people also come from a traditional background, maybe like programmers or different. Right. So what about you?
I think my background is a little bit unique, I would say. So I always wanted to work for myself, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just didn't want to like work in like the company and do like a traditional 9 to 5. And I was always looking for something. And I was actually living in America until like 2019, and I came back to Japan 2019. I was looking for something and I didn't know what. But I started working as an assistant for this business consultant guy, and he actually introduced me to Kintone, the tool, which was not so like known at the time, but I actually found Kintone and then I started using it. And then I'm like, oh, maybe that's something I can do. But I didn't have any programming backgrounds or anything at all.
No technical skills.
No technical skill at all. But with no code, I was able to build like something, right? And I can actually looking at the screen, like building something. And I was like, oh, maybe, you know? And then so this consultant guy that I was working for, he has some clients, like small business clients. So I was actually trying to build like a solution app for like these clients. And then like, I don't know, some of that worked. So that's kind of found out that I could do something with it, but I didn't even know the name of no code at the time. I just knew the tool. And I just didn't know what no code was. But after that, I actually read the book No Code Shift. It's a book. This guy Ando-san, he's the author. He wrote the book. He was like the guy knows no code. He wrote the book, and I found the book and I read it. And then there's like, that's how I found out the word no code. And there was Kintone, there's like Airtable, there's Notions, like there's so many like tools that were introduced in the book. And I was like, oh, no code is something.
You discovered the rabbit hole.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's gonna be something. But like no one knew the term no code at the time, like 2019, 2020 in Japan. I was like, oh, but that's something. That's how I kind of discovered. That's how I kind of started. Thank you.
Can I ask you, thanks for that, for sharing that first. It's interesting. I have a question about when you say you want to be a freelancer, is that common in Japan? Or
No.
because I have to say, I have a bit of a prejudice. Like, what we know in Europe about Japan is more about the big corporations, the salaryman, the salary woman, I guess. So maybe I don't know if that's, but I don't really feel like from abroad that there is a big like freelancing culture that maybe like in the US now or even in Europe. But so what? Maybe it's because you did even before going to the US, you already wanted that, or?
Yes, you're like so right about the culture side of Japan. Not so many people want to be freelancer working for themselves, but I don't know. I always wanted to, even like when I was a little, I always wanted to do something, but like of course I have an experience working like at the company too, but it doesn't last for a while, honestly. um, um, but but I always felt I'm not like in in that box. You know what I mean? Like in the how do I say it? Like traditional box. I always like felt I'm in like outside of the box. Not that I felt like bad or lonely or anything. It just that I was always felt like I'm like a little bit in the unique side than everyone else. So that's why I wanted to like go outside of Japan and like try something different. That's why I went to college in America. And
Is it hard to be a freelancer here? Is it, I mean, in terms of, because I have no idea, but I mean, in terms of administration, finding clients, do companies want to work with independent? Is there?
It's definitely hard, and I do okay now. I'm doing like just fine now, but I started it like what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So it's my like 5th or 6th years of doing like working for myself. And it was definitely hard, or like a lot harder than I expected in the first 2-3 years, I think. So it's definitely hard. And then I kind of wish, it's kind of too late, but I kind of wish that I had like um like good 9 to 5 experience, because that's how you know people, and that's how you build the basic, or like like your base, how to talk as a business person. Or like
No, but it's important to say that because even in France now, it feels like everyone wants to be a freelancer, especially if you're on LinkedIn. People post about all those like how it's a dream life, but it's hard. I think even in Europe, and also I think like personally that's also what I've been through. I've worked in a company, and I think that helps, and that's why I sometimes I tell people, it's good to have like first you learn the job better inside the company. I think you learn with senior people. Then maybe you just do it for a few years, but also as you said, you learn a bit of business talk. And you also meet maybe your first clients, maybe your first partners, a little bit of network. Then maybe you can work on your own. But yeah, I agree. But also there are some people who just went straight away and worked well, but it depends.
Because I didn't know, but I went into this like no code environment, no code world. So it's better to know like what what company does and like inside a company,
Yeah.
like project management, like order management, like all these like stuff. Like I didn't really have the vocabulary when I just started, and that's I wish I knew that like it was definitely a lot easier for me to start if I had the background working at the company. Yeah. But now I don't know. I think about that sometime, but at the same time, I didn't really graduate like the university, like I went to college in the United States, but it's a community college. It's like 2-year college. So like with that education background, I don't think I wouldn't get to work at like big company or like anything like that. So I don't know like what would happen before, like if I chose to like work to 95, but I don't know. I think about it sometimes.
Every story is different, and it's sometimes hard to look back because maybe you would have been stuck in a job. Maybe that's why I think sometimes it's harder to take like freelancing, or it's harder, but you also everything you do like it takes you higher in a way. It's that's the bad side of being working in a corporation. It's like thing you have your job. You have to do only what you need to do. You don't necessarily have the reason or the context to go above and learn more things that what you're required to do, which you definitely have to do when you're on your own.
Yeah.
And you have to find clients and serve them. So before we talk more about your activity, I feel like you need to tell me more about Kintone, because I had never heard of that tool until I went to, I saw I prepared a bit this interview. And so as you said, it's mainly Japanese. It's a Japanese company that edits it. Can you explain a little bit? It's not easy on a podcast, but can you try to describe a little bit what it looks like, what you can do with it? Just so people have the context, because I feel like that's one of the things you use the most in your activity. So and it's also interesting to discover new tools in our areas.
Yeah, that's right. It's always difficult to explain what Kintone is, but Kintone is a no-code tool. Obviously, you can build on. It's more focused on like small businesses. They're trying to get to the enterprise right now, but you can drag and drop.
It's mostly to build internal tools.
Internal,
right? Yeah. It's not to make a marketplace, Airbnb or whatever. It's really more internal tooling. That's why, because I had a quick look, but
it's not to build websites. It's not for the marketing tools or anything. It could be, but it's mostly internal. Make the internal tools within the company. So I do mostly like order management, project management. You can organize your customers. But the interesting thing is I always describe on Kintone as like a phone, like smartphone. So Kintone, it works as a So Kintone is just a box, like an empty box, and you built an app inside the box, inside Kintone, and like one database work as one app, and you basically can build on, I don't know how to explain, app with drag and drop. But like the interface is pretty interesting because Notion, like when you see Notion, it's like, I don't say it's like a spreadsheet, but it's a little bit like that. It's like you have like a page, but it looks like a spreadsheet. You have the column, but
Kintone for me, from what I could see, felt more like Airtable, for instance,
yeah.
in terms that you have a database, you can build your interface, and there seem also to be some sort of automations. Oh yeah, so you have like the three parts, like the data, the logic, and the interface kind of things. More because we have, but we won't know it, but we have a French tool that felt quite similar. That's called Time Tonic. It's very French. I don't think it's even available in English, but from the videos I could see on Kintone, it felt quite similar. So okay, and so you use it for Japanese clients, I guess.
Yeah,
So
mostly.
you said so mostly like small companies. So what do you have an example for instance, maybe of a project that you've been doing recently, or maybe an example of the company itself?
I do travel agency. There's like how do you say those?
So for the travel agency, for instance, what do you do?
So they have to organize like the customer information, like where
Okay.
they go, and then they have to book the tickets for everyone, and stuff like that. And also I create order management a lot for different companies, and I do this company that makes snacks. I don't even know what it's called in Japanese, like what it's called in English. On yeah. So they need to take orders. So they take order from the customer. So basically, like Japan is a lot more like paper based still.
Yeah.
So they take phone. They still even do fax sometime.
Okay.
Yeah. So so there's this company makes traditional Japanese snacks, and they basically take order from phone calls, emails, like fax, and they mostly organize everything on paper. So they take orders. They have the sheet of paper that has like customer's name and then like the orders, right? And they bring that to the factory, and then the factory person see the orders and make them, but they don't know um, the process. I mean, like the people who work at who deal with the customers, they don't know like when the product gets ready, and like any information after they basically give the order to the factory person. So I built an app in Kintone. So they basically, like when they take orders, they just like put all the information in Kintone. But Kintone, you can share information on the web. So there's a computer on in the factory, so they can see the orders. They even get notified, and they can see in the Kanban style board.
Yeah, okay.
So they can see like when the product gets ready and stuff like that. So, and also they they kind of still use a paper a little bit, because they can really completely stop
Yeah, of
everything
course, yeah.
for the customer
Yeah.
older person.
Yeah.
Um, but mostly they switch it over to Kintone. So now they actually print everything, because like Kintone, you can print on like invoice and everything. So before that, they use like a very old technical like system to print the invoice and stuff like that. But if once you put the orders, you can just print everything, like any like paper stuff that you need. Yeah, that's
Okay,
what
no,
I
but
do.
that's quite interesting. I feel like in France also still companies are quite paper-based, but maybe here it's, I don't know, yeah, like if they're still using faxes, yeah,
Yeah.
it seems that there is a need for automation tools and databases and things like this. So that means you have a big market in front of you. Is there
Yes.
a lot of companies also that are doing the same things that you, or other freelancers or
Mhm.
agencies? How does it work?
Yeah, because the company makes Kintone.
Yeah.
The Cyborgs, Cyborgs, Cyborgs is the company that makes Kintone.
Yeah, they make the.
Um,
But do they also like implement it to the customers? No, they
no,
just make the product and
yeah.
then
So
they are
Mhm.
okay.
So they don't do anything. They don't do. Um, they create like the courses for people to learn how to use Kingdom, but they don't do implementation or they
Okay.
don't do have any service.
All right.
So people like me or like company like me, they're the one that doing the work, doing the work, or like create a service for implementing the tools to the small companies. And the Kingdom is one of the famous one, like the big tools in Japan. So there's a lot companies.
Okay, that are
using
yeah.
Kintone.
Okay. And what about yourself? I'm always curious to know how people organize themselves. Like, for instance, did you build a Kintone app for yourself, or do you use other tools, or, for instance, managing your projects, your clients?
Very good question. I love trying out new tools. I mostly do on Notion.
Yeah.
I use Notion mostly. I use Google sometime, but mostly Notion. And yeah, mostly Notion.
Yeah. Notion is very popular in Japan now.
Mhm.
I think it's because I remember reading that it's like their second market or something, or in terms of users. Like Korea and Japan are two of the. I guess US are still the first,
Mhm.
but then it's. Is there any reason why? Do you know? I mean,
I think
could you guess maybe also what Japanese people like in it, or?
I think well, Notion is very good at marketing in the first place.
Yeah.
But I think Notion is available in Japanese. I think that's like the biggest reason.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
Because we have a lot of local tools like Airtable, like Flow, like a lot, right? But mostly it's only in English or maybe different languages, maybe, but not in Japanese. But Japanese people, they don't. Not a lot of people speak English. They feel like they can't.
Yeah.
So if the tool is not even available in Japanese, they put like there's a wall to
Yeah.
even try out the tool. So I think it's available in Japanese is like the biggest thing.
Okay.
And I think Notion is pretty much like the only tool that you can like do something like on your own, like build something. Because Kintone is their target is small companies, so the minimum user it's from 10 users,
Okay.
and it's like a little bit and
It's not
also
like an individual tool, like it's okay.
no.
Yeah.
And also like one user costs like $20 each.
Okay.
So it's for personal users, it's not even a tool to, try and
Yeah.
like use it for themselves. Like
Yeah, it's interesting because that French tool I was talking about, Time Tonic,
Mhm.
for a long time they had the same thing also. Like you couldn't even register as an individual. And like a couple of years ago, they switched because they discovered that there's a big market also. And of course, for individual users, you need to have some sort of freemium offer because
Huh.
people want to try for free first.
Mhm.
And then maybe they pay, and also they don't want to pay $20. Maybe they want to pay 5, 10. And Notion had also this type of pricing at the beginning. I think maybe they changed now a bit, but at first, like you could have like a Notion Plus or something for $4, I think, per month. So yeah, it makes a big difference. So I see, but I also understand companies who want to have a clear target. Say, okay, like you have to choose sometimes. But like I like, for instance, I feel like Airtable is in between. Like it's nice for individual users, but it also makes sense for companies, even though they're pushing more their enterprise offer but you can still have nice usage for free, or even if you have like a small non-profit or something, it can still be interesting. But yeah, no, okay. But the language thing makes sense because, to be honest, maybe it's a little different scale, but even in France, many people don't speak English. So like no-code tools are usually pretty well designed, but still, like I know a lot of tools, people can't use them because they just don't know, like, Zapier, for instance. People don't know the basic meaning of trigger. If you don't know what a trigger means, then, you're lost,
Right.
Like Zapier is a very accessible tool, but you have to read what's on the screen. And it's like, I speak good English, and so I never really understood, I studied English in school, most of my friends did. So for me, it's hard to see, but in France, it's also a bit of a barrier. But I guess at least it's the same alphabet. So I guess in Japan, there's even a second barrier, is like just like deciphering what's on the screen also might be a bit more difficult in English tools. So, okay, interesting. It's a good, like for me, I had a bit like I'll share that with you, but so I think the people from Notion, they built the second version of Notion in Kyoto. There's their story, like I don't know if you know the backstory of Notion, but there is like this, and apparently if you go to their office in San Francisco, you have to take your shoes off. They're very inspired apparently by the Japanese culture. And for me, it's true. One of the things I like with Notion is like it's quite minimalistic.
Right.
Like you have white sheet, and then you put things. And it's something I also associate with Japan for some reason. I don't know. For me, like that's one of the things I like in Japan. Things are, clean and minimalistic. It's nothing too flashy. It can be sometimes, but like there is a sense of, and so I don't know. Like for me, like there is this, like I found this a bit in Notion, but
That's a very interesting point.
but maybe it's also like a bit of idealizing things, but maybe like people from Japan don't see that in Notion necessarily. But
Right.
yeah. So, but that's I like Japan and I like Notion also. So let's get to the citizen development thing, because I went on your LinkedIn profile. So you were saying actually on LinkedIn is not very used in Japan.
Not really.
Yeah, is there an equivalent or like something in Japanese that's kind of the same?
For business, I think X is mostly used, I think. Not so much Facebook anymore.
Yeah. It's interesting because in France, we used to have a competitor to LinkedIn that was quite popular, but that was like 10 years ago. But then like eventually they just failed. I don't even know if it still exists. But so yeah, sometimes, from one country to the other, you have like a local equivalent. But yeah, so I saw that you were producing content, and I really liked actually, I read some of your posts and stuff, and I really like how you really share a vision about,
Thank you.
like no code and citizen development. But would you like to tell me a little bit what you, because in France, I will tell you after, but citizen development in France has also a bit of a specific meaning. So that's why I'm a bit curious to see what's your vision about all this, and especially specifically like the citizen development, what you put behind this term.
So citizen development. So the most common meaning of citizen development here in Japan is just that non-IT person create an app or like build an app to solve their like problem, I think. That's like the common meaning of citizen development. And I think that's missing a lot of important like part. when it comes to citizen development, because citizen development, when you hear the word, I think it's too focused on people. Like this people is building an app, no technical background, basically. But I think it's missing the part that they need a right tool, no-code tool, and they need a right system on like the governance and then how to educate them in the first place, So I think we need the right people and right tool, and we need a right system. Like those three are those three things has to be in the meeting of citizen development. That's something that I want to kind of expand more, because I think the main, like, too much focus on like people, like that sometimes like company or like some people are like, oh, they can, like here's a tool, like they can do, they can build something. But when you when you when when someone building something without any system or like any right tool behind them within the company, they get burned out, and then like I don't know, it doesn't go, it doesn't get to, I don't know how to explain. Like it doesn't get it right. It doesn't. It's not right.
Yeah, of course. Do you? I have a question that I'm also thinking about a lot. But do you think everyone should be a citizen developer? And also, there's a side question to it. Can everyone become a citizen developer?
The first one, I don't think everyone should become a citizen developer. And the second one, I think anyone could be a citizen developer, but I don't think everyone shouldn't be a citizen developer.
And this is probably when it's also a matter of the right tools and the right education. And because it's something like, so before I started, like we got into with my business partner, we started our no-code journey around 2018, 2019. But before that, we were teaching people how to become programmers. So we come from more technical background. I'm a programmer originally. And so for a long time in our previous company, we were saying everyone can code, which I don't believe anymore, Like, I don't think anyone should learn how to code. That doesn't make sense. And also, I think coding is really hard. But now I'm also wondering if it's not also even true with the no-code tools, because like our business is to sell courses, like training and education. So I think with the right education, you can learn pretty much anything. It's true, but that's so. But do you need, like, and also what for? And do you need, sometimes people come to us and they say, oh, I want to learn this because I have a project. And then sometimes we tell them, maybe you should hire someone, maybe you don't have to learn yourself. Maybe it's better because what you're good at doing is the business part of let the technical for a no-coder that just do that. So I don't know what's your, in this, in general, do you think it's better, like does everyone should use no-code tools, or like what's the, I don't know. It's a very vague question, but
I don't think anyone like should become a citizen developer, or like anyone should use no code. I mean, I think people who want to use no code obviously like should use, or but I think anyone, I I don't know, it's difficult to say, but I think anyone should know that there is a solution available, and if they want to, they can choose. But I don't want to create the world, or it's a really big term that I'm using, but that if there is a tool, there's a solution, but they don't know. Like I don't want that to happen.
This I agree. I think maybe this is like probably what everyone should learn is what exists, what's possible, and then they can decide if they have to learn, and they have to, and also because I think there is also a big matter of the right tool for the right project, for the right person, as you were mentioning. That like also we're very big on this. We produced a lot of content to help people, like, because some people, and it's even more true these days, and we have to talk a bit about AI. But now there is a lot of FOMO, as we say, in English, like fear of missing out. And I think people, at least I see in the French no-code community, sometimes say, "Oh, this is the tool everyone is talking about, I need to use it." But sometimes it's not the right tool for them because it's too complicated, for instance, it's too technical, or maybe it's too expensive, and their project just requires something very simple, so there is a sort of, and I think it's important to understand all this more than really just the technical part, but so yeah, I mean, it's a vast debate, I think, and it's but I think I agree. It's really important to be aware. That's, I think, the most important. What? Yeah. No, please go.
So I mostly talked about Kintone, and I do Kintone, but I also do Notion as well to teach how to use Notion to like companies and like individuals. But I actually do YouTube. And for YouTube, I do like Kintone, Notion, but also like other tools. Like sometimes like tools, I introduce tools like do screenshots on the computer, like because the one inside the Mac or like the Windows, it's like a little bit too to use. But sometimes like with the right screenshot tools, it makes you like faster. It makes you it makes me so fun to use the right tools, like, so not just like business, like technical. Well, Notion and Kintone gets technical sometimes. So not only those type of tools, but I try to introduce like these like small tools that they can just use it right away, kind of thing. But for this year, I want to try out different tools, mostly like Japanese no-code tools, so then they know what's available, because Kintone could be a little too expensive or too technical for some companies too. So if I can talk about it, then I think I can maybe open the door for...
Do you do your content in Japanese, like the YouTube channel?
Yeah, in Japanese.
I think it makes sense. I think there's already enough stuff in English. I think it's better to focus on what you know. I mean, that's what we did also. And sometimes people say, "Oh, why you don't do content in English and stuff?" It's like, there's enough French people to teach, and we're very happy just doing that and focusing and really understanding, because I think when it's your own culture, you understand better the needs, and it's easier to.
But for Kintone, I actually try to do the contents in English too. We actually, me and my business partner, we actually started on service called Kaizen Code. It's a Kintone implementation service to companies, but mostly like we do the service in English, because I think Kintone is a pretty good tools, but not so well known in, like, if you go outside of Japan, no one knows. So I want to kind of expand that. And at the same time, so my business partner is actually I don't know the term, but he actually supports Ukraine refugees.
Okay.
Yeah, so some Ukraine refugees, like, they've been in Japan for a few years now, because the war started like 3 years ago. So I mean, like, they speak Japanese. Well, they learn Japanese, they speak Japanese, but in Japan, they can only get like working at like convenience stores, like like those type of jobs, even though they have skill set. So we actually teach no code to them. We teach Kintone to them.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe we can create like a work or job for them.
Yeah.
So that's another project that I'm trying to do with.
Okay.
other.
Super interesting. And just quickly, I'm curious to know what's your if you use AI tools, because I mean this is the big topic these
Right.
days. And is there also something specific for those tools in Japan? Is there model providers that are from Japan, or do you use ChatGPT like everyone? Or?
I'm a fan of Claude.
Okay,
I use
me
Claude.
too. So
I use Claude, but I use ChatGPT, Claude. Uh, yeah. I don't.
does it make a difference for in Japanese? Are there models that are better than others? Like,
Uh,
or do you use them in English and it doesn't matter?
I do both English and Japanese, so I don't really see the difference. But I think in English is a lot more. Uh, I think it's a little bit better. So I do
Yeah.
when I do like research, I mostly do in
Okay.
English. When it comes to like no codes and AIs, because there's more contents available in English. Um, yeah, those two are the mostly. I don't really use Gemini, but people talk about Gemini a lot. It's
Yeah.
a lot better now, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to use Gemini a little bit, but I try to use um like multiple tools. Like not all, well, I was like mostly using Claude. Um, Even though I can do like web search, well now I think it's available now
Yeah, but in the US only, I
in
think.
the US only. I'm like, "Ah."
Hopefully soon we'll get it
Hopefully
as well.
soon. I was using Claude mostly, not really. I wasn't really a Chat GPT person, but I recently used Chat GPT. It's a lot better compared to the time that I was using Chat GPT. So I'm like, oh, it's so I should use multiple tools because like AI, um, it's faster to it's just um they become better and better.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's better to use multiple tools, not only just
Yeah.
like one tool.
It depends also what you want to do. But I feel like I agree. And also at the same time, I feel like now we've reached a level where honestly, the difference when you work on text, let's say,
Hmm.
the difference between Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini is not that different, really.
Hmm.
I mean,
Right.
but I don't know, that's my personal use. Then for images, those are evolving. Like there are things on voice, text, I mean, like
Hmm.
audio, and those are evolving quickly. But yeah, it's going fast. Is there anything specific in Japan you feel towards AI? Is it like commonly used, or people don't want it? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea if there is a reason that should be different. But I'm just curious.
I think ChatGPT is obviously the most well-known AI tools in Japan, but I didn't know until recently. But because I'm in this no code world, AI world, so I use no code AI daily. But there's still a lot of people doesn't even like
Yeah.
use AI or like haven't even opened
Yeah.
AI chat and
Yeah, sometimes it feels we're in a bit of a bubble inside the no-code space
yeah.
or AI. Yeah, it's true. Some people don't know, don't really care.
Hmm.
But and last question, or I have two last questions.
Hmm.
Um, One question is about like the local no-code community, because I saw on when I was doing my research before the trip that there is a No-Code Japan association.
Yes, there is.
Is the, what I've tried to get in touch with them, but they wouldn't answer. And but what is it? What does it do? And what's the?
I think
Are you part of it? Are you just, do you know them or?
um yes. I'm not a member of No Code Association, but I they do a summit. So it happened in February. So we have No Code Symposium. That's what it's
Okay.
called.
It seemed a bit formal from the website and everything, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's all in Japanese, so, but it seemed a bit more formal than what we have in Europe, but
Mhm. But it's like a lot smaller version of No Code Summit, I think. So there's like a booth for no code tools, like no code companies, like they do like booth to like promote their tools, and there's like a sessions and like there's like speakers talk about like no code and AI. That's what happened in February this year. I think they're trying to like promote no code, and I think they do like they don't do podcasts, but they do like they invite on people in like no code, uh yeah, no code people. They invite no code people and then talk about like the tools and like and they do those stuff, but not so big yet. But they're trying,
No,
or
but
we are trying.
there is something at least. So yeah, no, that's cool. I was surprised to see that it exists
Mhm.
because not so many countries have a structured organization, around no code. So I'm always interested. But it was hard to get like that. I was a bit frustrated when I was doing my research because like not knowing Japanese, it was very hard to even with all the translation tools and stuff, but it felt like I was missing a lot in the and I tried to write to them, but they didn't answer. But it's fine. I mean, I have a few people to meet at least, so and I'm glad you could tell me a bit about it.
I think I can help you contact them actually, because Ando-san is the member of the No Code
Okay.
Association too.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean, as long as I have a chance to meet on the sun, then it will be nice.
right.
Just a quick question because I forgot to ask you, but what did you think about the No Code Summit, actually?
No Code Summit?
Yeah.
Oh my God. To me, uh, that was intense. That was like my very first impression of No Code Summit. It was my first time to attend. I was very excited to be in Paris in the first place, but it was my very first time like attending something that everyone knows what no code is. Everyone talk about no code, um, and citizen development too. Like a lot of like some people are talking about that, and I was really happy in at the summit and like all the passions and all the heat. Um, that's something that you cannot feel if you're not there. So that was good. A lot to learn. uh, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, if it happens again this year, we'll have a chance to meet
Yeah.
in Paris.
I
If you plan to come, I mean, still we don't know if it's going to happen, but if it happens, then
But I really want to go. I really want to go this year if that happens. And also, I would like to speak. Maybe that's something that I kind of, well, not kind of, that I want to do, because I think me and I went with me and then my business partner, and we are the only two Japanese there, and it was it's been so long that I felt like I'm the minority there. um, so yeah, because like not a lot of people know that the no code community exists in Japan, and not.
Oh, I wish I had known. We would have. I would have definitely write you to meet in Paris if I had known. But
Yeah. So maybe if I like, I want to speak there, and then if I speak, maybe like, I can, like we exist here.
yeah,
I can tell people, like tell the world, maybe.
I will help you with that next year. Last questions, nothing to do with no code. I'm just curious to know what's your favorite thing to do in Osaka or in the area. What would you recommend for people who travel here? What or
Try.
not to recommend, what you like to do.
Oh, what do I like to do? Coffee. I love coffee. So just visiting coffee shops. Oh, my husband does. He has a coffee shop in Namba. It's called Cafe LA, and And also a new coffee shop is opening up in 2 weeks. And it's called Oni Coffee.
Okay.
And so definitely check that out. The visiting coffee shops are my favorite things. But if you're visiting Osaka, then try kushikatsu. That's something you should eat.
That's food. That's
Yeah.
That's tribes now, something like this. No,
Like
it's not
deep
this.
fried,
Deep fried.
it's skewered, deep fried. Like,
Okay, yeah.
have you tried?
No, I haven't tried it. I have to say I'm not eating too much meat, so
Oh,
but it's okay. I mean, I did some, but not this one. No, but it's funny because someone recommended it to us 2 days ago, actually.
oh,
This, but I've never heard of it. I know the specialty here is the okonomiyaki
oh yeah.
and the takoyaki,
Mhm.
but I didn't know this. The one you said.
Yeah, kushikatsu.
Yeah.
But it's not only meat, but we do like a lot of vegetables too.
Okay.
So
Okay. I will check it out.
Mhm.
Perfect. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully we'll meet in Paris next time.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Sorry. No, last questions. I always forget where people can follow you. So you are on X.
Yes, I'm on X. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube.
I will put the links. You will send me the links, and I will put them in the notes of the episode.
Perfect.
Cool.
That's good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.